switched over to my headset. So, all right, and we should be live on Facebook. So hopefully you guys can hear me and see me. This is Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady, and today is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. So just want to say hello to everybody that's on Facebook and just comment, let me know that you're here so I know that there's people live watching. And if you have any questions, you could put them in the comment box. And Nicole, let me know if you're here, if you'll be helping us out today. While we do that, I do have some announcements for you today, but I'm going to wait for later for the announcements. What I want to do while I wait for you guys to ask me questions, I'm here to answer your questions about tax lien investing and tax deed investing. And I'm going to go and look at some of the questions that I've had recently and give you some answers that I've given out to people who've asked me questions recently. So some of the questions I've had recently are questions about New Jersey and what happens, what are the pitfalls of bankruptcy proceedings, either before the tax lien sale or after the tax lien sale. So, and that's a really good question because that's something that is on people's minds. What happens when somebody goes bankrupt? Well, first of all, if you're going to a tax lien sale, the tax collector is really not supposed to sell any liens for anybody that has declared bankruptcy or anybody that's in bankruptcy court or is in the process of declaring bankruptcy. So that should not happen before the tax sale. Because it shouldn't be sold in the tax sale if that is true. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. If they do, you will get your money back. If you bought a lien, you won't get any interest on it, but you get your money back if it was sold in error, okay? Because they're not allowed to sell it if the owners have gone bankrupt. However, what if you purchase a lien and then the owner of the property declares bankruptcy? That can happen. And what happens when somebody declares bankruptcy is then there is a bankruptcy court and you would have to put in your claim into the bankruptcy court. And in order for them to even declare bankruptcy, they have to notify all lien holders and you're included. So if you have a tax lien on a property, you are notified of the bankruptcy and then you have to make a claim into the bankruptcy court. Now, this has happened to me once. And I never did put a claim into the bankruptcy court because the first thing I did when this happened is, and again, I don't worry, this is not something I worry about, as this is not something that happens too often. And even if it does happen, you're notified, you put a claim into the court. And then if it's time to foreclose on a lien, you might have to wait out the bankruptcy stay. Okay. What happens after a bankruptcy? There is a stay, a period of time in which you cannot foreclose on the property until the bankruptcy stay is over. But the thing is, in order for that bankruptcy to take effect, the people who are declaring bankruptcy and going through the bankruptcy, they have to meet certain guidelines and they have to do certain things and make certain payments. And if they don't hold up their end of the bargain, the bankruptcy gets thrown out. And that frequently happens a lot before even the court date. So what happened in my case is the first thing I did when I got the letter that a lien that I have that the owners were going bankrupt is I called a friend of mine who was a tax collector in New Jersey, and I asked him, what should I do? Because the tax collectors have to deal with this too in the liens that they have, that the municipality has, that are going, that somebody has declared bankruptcy. after the county or the municipality has taken the lien. So what he told me is don't do anything yet. He asked me what the date was, and he said, oh, excuse me, 30 days before that date, get an attorney to respond in the bankruptcy court. In other words, an attorney to write a letter with your claim in the bankruptcy court. But because I had a long time before that court date was set, he said, don't do it until 30 days before, because a lot of times these things go away. Well, guess what? The lien wound up getting paid, so it went away. I believe what happened in that situation is that the people who owned the property was already vacant, and they were trying to sell it on a short sale, and the bank wouldn't play nice. And once the bank got wind of the bankruptcy, they decided to play nice. Okay, I believe that's and the property got sold, and therefore it got redeemed. I believe that's what happened. I don't know, but I believe that's what happened. So anyway, it's not really a concern of mine, and that's it can happen after you purchase a lien. When it does, you get notified, and then you might have to put a claim into the court. Now, what if that does happen, though? What if it goes through, the claim goes to the court, they get your claim? You may have a decreased interest rate during the bankruptcy stay. So if you got 18% on your tax lien, they might reduce it to 8% during that bankruptcy stay. All right, so that is like the worst that can happen. So are you going to lose your money because somebody goes bankrupt? No. Okay. All right, so that's one question that I got. And I'm just going to look through some other questions that I got to see if there's questions that other people had for me that if I answer them on here, it might help you. So I thought this would be a good place to air these questions. And I'll be doing this weekly at 2 o'clock every Tuesday. So this is a place to come to. If you want me to answer your question live, you could ask it in the comments, and I will get back to it. Now, I also do want to check that I am in the right place here. So just bear with me for a minute, because I'm going to send an email to my assistant, Nicole, and make sure that this Facebook Live is airing in the right place. Okay. All right, so another question. Let's see. So another question is like, where can I get a good overview on the tax liens? Somebody that has heard about them, wants to find out some more about them. Where's a good place to get a general understanding of what a tax lien is, how it works, whether it's right for you? I recommend, I have a book called Tax Lien Investing Secrets, how you can get 8 to 36% on your return on your money without the typical risk of real estate investing or the uncertainty of the stock market. You could get that book on Amazon, and you can also find out more about it if you'd like to know what's in each chapter, a little bit more about the book at taxlieninvestingsecrets.com. So go to taxlieninvestingsecrets.com and you could find out more about it there. Okay, and let's see. I have other questions that I can answer for you here. Oh, somebody asked, do you have a newsletter or blog to which I can receive email updates? And yes, I do. My newsletter came out today, and if you get on my list, everybody on my list gets my newsletter. Excuse me just a minute. Had to take I might need another sip of water. A little bit dry now. And there's a little bit of lemon in my water too. So, but you could get, if you're not getting my newsletter, if you didn't get it yet today, you can go to taxlientipsnewsletter.com and sign up for it. If you sign up for anything else on my website, you will get my newsletter once a month. And you might also get, sometimes I also have other news come out on Tuesdays. So not every Tuesday, but a lot of Tuesdays I have some news come out. So you might get an email from me with other news on other days. But the Tax Lien Tips newsletter comes out once a month on the second Tuesday of the month, normally. Okay. Now, for more information, you could go to my blog at taxlieninvestingtips.com. And there's a bunch of articles on my blog about all different things related to tax liens and tax deeds. And there's a search box there where if there's a particular topic you're interested in, you could search about it. If you're interested in only a specific state or only tax deeds or only online tax liens in a certain state, you could put that information in and search. Okay. All right, so let's see if there's any other questions that I can answer for you on this Facebook Live. Um, let's see. Let's see what other questions I've gotten recently. And again, if you guys have questions, just type them in to the question box. Not the question box, I'm sorry. I'm doing this on StreamYard, but you guys are on Facebook on the comments. Because I actually get your comments on StreamYard. Okay, so let's see here. Oh yes, and Nicole just put in for you the links for the newsletter and for the blog. Okay, I'm just looking through the questions that I got to see if there's questions in here that would help everybody. And here's a question that I got. And this is, I believe this is about New Jersey. Is it possible to obtain a tax lien certificate prior to a given municipality's annual tax sale? For example, I am aware of one property that is now in arrears for the past 5 going on 6 tax quarters. Okay, so this is about New Jersey, and somebody wants to know if they know that a tax lien is going to go into the sale, can they buy it from the municipality before the tax sale? And no, you cannot. Not in New Jersey. Most tax lien states, no, you cannot. It is actually against the law. However, in tax redeemable deed states do allow that, and there are companies that will give loans and put a tax lien on your property in those states, and those are redeemable deeds. States like Texas, but not in lien states. They do not allow that. The only way to get a tax lien is either at the sale or from somebody who bought it at the sale, or sometimes you could get leftover liens in New Jersey. Not so easy to do. Some municipalities do not sell them. Most do not. Some do, but it's like pulling teeth to get it. But in other states, it's a little bit easier, like Florida and Arizona, states like that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Thomas, I see your question, but I'm not sure about it. It says, any idea how adverse possession could assist with acquiring a tax lien? I don't know what adverse possession is. Um, I'm not sure what you mean. It, I know a method. Oh, are you talking about what I was just talking about? Buying the lien before the sale. In other words, paying somebody's taxes before the sale and then putting a lien on a property. And you're saying that there is a method even in a lien state. I, as far as I know, not in New Jersey, it is illegal. Um, but if you know of a way, yeah, let us know about it. um, and in which state? I know in redeemable deed states, yes, but in lien states that I'm aware of, no, they will. You have to wait until the tax sale. Um, as far as I know. Okay. And Denise, also, I want to thank you for being here and letting me know that, yes, I'm on the air. um, okay. So, any other questions? You guys that are here live, if you have any other questions you want answered, now is the time. And Thomas, I got to admit, I don't know what you're talking about. Uh, we are talking about property tax liens here, okay? Not IRS liens or any other kind of liens. All right, Kathy has a question. I bought a property from a tax sale in Georgia. Turns out that the owner of the property had passed away prior to the sale. Now we are being told it was a defective deed. Had to hire a lawyer trying to get our money back, but this has been dragging out since the first of the year. What can I do? Kathy, you should get your money back because if it was sold in error, that's a I'm not sure what you mean by defected deed. You mean a defective deed. What you have to do is prove that it was sold in error, which I don't know if it was or not. Now, here's what I suggest. Um, was there an overage on the sale? In other words, you bought it at a tax deed sale in Georgia. Did you pay more than the back taxes? Did you pay more than the minimum bid amount? If you paid more than the minimum bid amount, you want to see if anybody applied for that overage. If they applied for that overage, then you can get that, you can um, rectify that deed and get the property, I believe. You've got to talk to an attorney about this, but you might be able to get the property. If, however, nobody applied for that money, if there was an overage and nobody applied for it, and it was not a defective deed, but a sale in error. If it was a sale in error, then you should be getting your money back. And the only reason that it's taking so long is because of COVID, because all the county offices have been closed for the last, 3 months, right? All right, let me know if you have any response to that, Kathy, okay? Specifically, I'd like to know, did you pay an overage? And did you find out if that overage was applied for by by somebody else who either an heir to the property or somebody who had a lien on the property, like a mortgage, for instance? Okay. Let's see. Thomas says, yes, there is a method in a tax lien state. It isn't a method I discuss with many. I would have to chat or text with you in private. Yeah, Thomas, I'd be interested in talking to you about that because from what I know in New Jersey, it's a shady business to do that. So I know there are companies that do that in other states, but I'd be very leery about it. I would like to chat with you about that. Send me an email at info@taxlienlady.com. Um, yeah, and Thomas, it is a quit claim deed or a tax claim deed. It basically they're the same thing. When you get a deed from one of these redeemable deed sales in Georgia, it's something that first of all you have to foreclose on the property just like you do in a lien state, and then you do have to clear the title. All right. So it could be also, Kathy, that you just need to clear the title to that property. And for that, if your attorney is taking too long, there are companies that um, uh, uh, specify in or that that have expertise in clearing titles to the property. Okay, and Nicole just put my email in the chat for you guys as well. All right, now while you're thinking of some more questions for me, I just wanted to show you something. So I'm going to show you my screen, and let's see if I could do this without too much trouble here. I should be, let's see. Okay, all right. So I should be sharing my screen now. And what I want to do is I have some announcements for you, stuff that's coming up that I want to let you know about. So let me bring up some slides that I have to show you this. First of all, I didn't show you this at the start, but this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, which we're going to be doing weekly, okay, at this time, Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And here's the first announcement I have for you. And Nicole, you could put this link um, in the comments for the Facebook Live. Our next wealth building webinar is tomorrow night, and we're going to be talking about the online deed sales that are coming up in the next couple of months. And that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, it's free to come live to these wealth building webinars. If you want the replay, you have to be a member of Wealth Building Webinars, but members of the Wealth Building Webinars is $49 a month to be a member, or if you want to save some money and be a yearly member, it's $490 for the year. You also get the replays of all the wealth building webinars that we've done. And you also get now access to the Buying Tax Liens Online course, which is a $297 course. So now when you join Wealth Building Webinars, you also get Tax Lien Investing Basics. So there's the link, and Nicole is going to put it in the comments for you. All right, so that's my first announcement. The second one is that we're doing another virtual live workshop Sunday, June 28th from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now you can find out more about that at taxlienlady.com/online tax deed sales 2020 virtual workshop. Okay, that is a mouthful. Don't worry about copying it down. Nicole, could you also put that link in the comments for everybody? All right, now it's $149 for that 2-hour workshop. And not only do you get the workshop, all the recording from the workshop, the workbook, any materials that come with it, and you also get a month in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. Now, and you will not automatically be charged when you get 30 days, a 30-day trial. You're not signing up for a subscription. You will not automatically be charged when your 30-day trial is over, okay? So it's a one-time cost of $149. It will give you the workshop, all the materials for the workshop, and it will give you a 30-day trial in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. And guess what? The Tax Lien Profits Accelerator also includes the wealth building webinars. So you will also get that for your in the 30 days that you have that trial. All right, so I just wanted to let you know about that. And now we're going to go back to, let's see, minimize this so that I could see what we're doing here. Kind of lost my way here. Okay, there I am. All right. So Nicole put that in, and let's see. Thomas asked, "How can I send an invite to this live workshop?" You want to send an invite to somebody else for the live workshop? Is that what you want to do, Thomas? And let's see. And hi, Ray. In Alabama, okay. Oh, and Thomas is in Georgia, so he's very aware of the process that we were talking about before, Kathy, when we were talking about your deed. Okay, and Nicole put the link in if you want to invite others to, Nicole, that link that you put in, that's for this live that we're doing right now, right? Okay. So the link that Nicole just put in is for this live, but we're about to end this pretty soon. So here's the thing, it's going to be in the Facebook, on this Facebook page. So if you just send people to this page, they're going to get the recording. So these Q&As, they'll be about a half an hour to 45 minutes long, depending on how many questions I get. So if you guys have more questions for me to answer, I will stay here and hang out and answer them. But if I don't get any more questions, then we're going to end it pretty soon. But I do have another one here. Do you do any Alabama tax liens or tax deeds? Ray, I hate to tell you this, but I don't like Alabama. Their laws are not favorable to the investor. In Alabama, you might get a tax lien, you might hold it for 3 years, which is the redemption period, it's a long one. And then when you go to foreclose on it, you might get a judge that doesn't even want to give it to you. That can happen in Alabama. So I do not personally invest in that state in tax liens or tax. However, I have clients that have. My advice to you in Alabama is this is the one state where you might be better off. I usually do not recommend this. The OTC or the over-the-counter liens is something that is a pain in the neck as far as I'm concerned in most states. There's nothing but junk left over, and you have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb to find something that's halfway decent. Now, in Alabama, the two things I recommend is either the over-the-counter liens that have been there a while or secondary liens, because for one thing, the redemption period is too long. It's 3 years. And for the other thing, once you do foreclose, you might get a judge who doesn't even want to give you the deed to the property. There's too many loopholes in the laws for investors in Alabama. The other thing I would say is stick with the deeds over the liens. You probably would have a better chance there with the deeds. And some of the Alabama tax liens have gone online too this past month. Actually, starting in April 1st was the first Alabama County that went online. The ones that are online are on govease.com. They make it a little tougher because you have to register on GovEase and then you have to register with the county and you have to send them information in the mail. Okay, so not such an easy online sale. But if you want to see if there's any more Alabama sales coming up, you could check out govease.com online for the online Alabama sales. Okay. And Ray is also asking, what states do I like? I like Indiana. I like states where you pay premium and you get interest on your premium. I like Indiana and I like South Carolina for redeemable deeds. I like New Jersey, but I like the live sales in New Jersey, not the online sales in New Jersey. And there are other states I like, but you need to be careful with them. So I don't like to just, spit them off the top of my tongue. I like secondary liens in Florida and Illinois. Okay, not necessarily going to the sale, but secondary liens in Florida and Illinois. Are Arkansas or Georgia or the Carolinas better? Yes. Not Georgia or North Carolina, but South Carolina. And Arkansas, no. I don't have much personal experience in Arkansas. Arkansas is a deed state, I believe. And I don't have much personal experience there. I don't think it's a popular state. Which the more popular states are more competitive, but they're also popular because they're more profitable. Georgia is profitable, but very competitive. I like South Carolina because it's a little bit less profitable, 12% per year, 3% every quarter, but it's less competitive and you get a good deed to the property in South Carolina. So it's a redeemable deed state where all the other states you mentioned, Ray, are deed states. So I like the redeemable deed states the best. And yes, govease.com, that is the platform that I mentioned before, that it does Alabama and Mississippi. Okay, let's see. Thomas says, I like Florida and California for their short redemption periods. Okay, but those are deeds. Those are for deeds. California is a deed state. They don't have a redemption period. And Florida has a 2-year redemption period on the liens. So not too short. If you want liens with a short redemption period, I recommend Indiana or Maryland. Okay, Ray says he does like South Carolina. Good. What's your take on Kansas? Not too crazy about Kansas is deeds. They don't do liens. Not too crazy about Kansas. Don't have any personal experience in Kansas. And I don't have any clients with Kansas that have experience in Kansas either. Do you offer training for South Carolina? I do coaching for South Carolina. I have a couple of coaching clients in that I have coached in that state. So I am familiar with South Carolina. I don't have a course specifically for South Carolina. If you're interested in the coaching, Ray, go to getprofitabletexliens.com. Nicole, would you put that in there for Ray, the getprofitabletexliens.com link? And that is for coaching. You can find out more about my coaching there. And if you're just learning, Ray, you might want to start with the membership instead of the coaching. And you can find out more about membership if you go to taxlienlady.com/membership. And Nicole, could you put that link in as well? All right. Corey says, I have the money to invest. I am in Connecticut. Where should I start? Online or go to an auction? All right. Here's the thing about Connecticut. Connecticut has two different types of sales. And like all of New England, they are not county sales. They are done on the municipal level. Some towns are going to have deeds and they're redeemable deeds, and some are going to have lien sales. Most do not have a lot available, so they're going to be competitive. But I would suggest that you start in your own backyard, find out what they do, and go to the live sales. Um, After that, I would also, you're close to New York and New Jersey, I would visit those states and see what they do. You're going to find different things in New York. New Jersey is all liens, all on the municipal level. New York, you're going to find big county deed sales. Some of those are online. And you're also going to find cities that have their own sales, and some of them have lien sales. So check into that. And if you need help with that, look into my coaching or my membership, Corey, for that. And yes, Thomas, that's it. It's get profitable tax. Oh, I'm sorry, you need an S. It's get profitable tax liens with an S.com. Okay, and Nicole just put it in for you. Okay. All right, guys, any other questions? This was great. I'm glad we had all these questions. I can't wait to do it again next week. All right. Now, here's the only thing. Next week, Nicole's not going to be here. She's on vacation. So you guys are going to have to bear with me next week. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Seth is asking, what is the best way to find partners to invest with? I think having boots on the ground would be helpful. Thanks. That depends, Seth, on where you want to invest. Depends on where. In some places, I might know of people that can do that. All right, you're welcome, Ray. Oh yeah, and Thomas is asking about Massachusetts, that they don't have the tax lien sales, and he wants me to elaborate on that. Yeah, in Massachusetts, they do something different. They actually have what they call taking sales. They take the property. So again, it's done on the town by the town. The municipality will take the property and then sell it. But they don't sell it for back taxes. They sell it for what they think it's worth. So not the best place, huh? Okay. And Seth is saying, Seth is talking about Alabama. Hey, Seth, here's what I suggest. You must have came late onto this Facebook Live. When we're done, watch the replay because I talk about Alabama. And I don't really like Alabama for that reason. I think in Alabama, you're better off getting bank-owned properties than you are going to lien sales. Okay, or going to the deed sales. Alabama does have deed sales. I do have, I might be able to get you funding partners and boots on the ground for Alabama, but not for the sales, or really for REO properties, and that's something, we'd have to do coaching with. And now is that Alabama the state, or then you said county? Alabama County where? And Thomas says Massachusetts is now active with tax lien auctions and tax deed sales. Okay, they're doing both. I would be careful in Massachusetts. I'm not sure if they're just bundling up their liens and only selling them to specific funds when they do have their lien sales. Um, All right. Are you saying Jefferson County, Alabama? Seth, again, if you're talking about Alabama, please watch the replay of this because I want you to hear what I said about Alabama earlier. All right, and Thomas is asking, is taking when the municipality takes the property for delinquent taxes and the record owner is subject to the 6-month redemption period? I am from Massachusetts. No, there is no redemption period when they take it. The 6-month redemption period is probably when they do the lien sale or on the lien. Sometimes they take the lien and they have the lien and then you'd have a 6-month, but when they take the property and have a taking sale, there's no redemption. Okay. And I'd have to look into Massachusetts. They might have changed things since the last update of that state guide. Okay, Ray is in Birmingham. Ray, I would look on the I'd look on the OTC liens and deeds where you are in Birmingham. You might have a hard time finding anything good because that's really not something I recommend, but I don't recommend going to the tax lien sale in Alabama. And Thomas said most of the sales are purchased. Yes, they're purchased by big corporations because I think they bundle them up and just sell them to big corporations. Okay, Corey says, I'm confused. Some people say they get a piece of property for the tax lien amount and some go to auction. Does the tax lien end up in an auction? All right, Corey, you have to tell me what state you're talking about and what you have to be a little more specific because remember, every state is different. So what we're talking about, Massachusetts, does not apply to other states. And what we were talking about, Alabama, does not apply to other states. Every state is different. All right. Oh, okay. Thomas says that I was incorrect. I stand corrected. The taking does give a redemption period in compliance with, okay, I'm not as familiar with Massachusetts law as Thomas is because he's actually there. So 60 seconds. See, I'm okay. Oh, are you referencing the law there that they're in compliance with? And it is a 6-month redemption period. That's longer than usual for something like that for a taking sale. Yeah, I wasn't aware that there was a redemption period in that taking sale. I thought they were just selling the property. So yeah, thank you, Thomas. Corey, okay. So Corey, you're talking about Connecticut. Yeah, you could go to New York and New Jersey. I recommend looking at the cities in New York and see what they do because the cities can do what they want. Even though most of the counties are deeds, they sell deeds except for Nassau. Nassau has a big tax lien sale every year, but it's very competitive and it's online. I recommend going to those counties that have deed sales and looking into the cities. The larger city, they can do whatever they want, and some of them have tax lien sales. And I've been in this business for over 15 years. I just found that out last year. Okay. So, there's new stuff I'm finding out. Like today, I was corrected on Massachusetts because look, every state is different. And anybody that tells you they're an expert all over the country is not really telling you the truth. Okay. You heard that from me. Thomas says, I'm actually doing boots on the ground here in Georgia. Oh, all right, cool. If anybody needs boots on the ground in Georgia. And yeah, it's a 6-month redemption period in Massachusetts. The legislature has recently reduced to 6 months. Okay. Yeah, Massachusetts is really not a state that I am too familiar with or recommend my clients to, Thomas, just because they don't have a lot available. Most of New England doesn't have a lot available, except for the bigger cities. Like forget about Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Oh, very little up there available in their sales. Now, if you live up there, definitely look into it. But yeah, because I do believe you should invest in your own backyard, but just be prepared. Not a lot to available. All right. It's 2:45. And thank you guys. We had a really good Facebook Live today. A lot of questions. I love answering questions, and I love having people on that can even help me answer these questions, Thomas. So thank you for that, and also give me some enlightenment in what's happening in some states that I'm not as up on, like Massachusetts. Okay, so thank you everybody for being here. I hope to see you all next week. Be a little patient with me next week because Nicole won't be here with me. She'll be on vacation. So thank you, Nicole, for being with me, and thank you everybody for being here, and see you next week. Oh, tomorrow night, go register for that wealth building webinar. We'll be talking about the deed sales, what deed sales are coming up. I'll be showing you some tools I use to find out what deed sales are. It's free to come to the live call. So go register for that. Okay. See you, everybody. Bye.